Disney has given us so many fun, wonderful characters to fall in love with over the years. But there are some characters that don't give us that warm-hearted feeling we are used to. Before I get into my 10 dark facts about Disney characters, remember to like and subscribe if you are a fan of content like this. Starting off with Bambi's mother's death. This death is considered one of the saddest Disney character deaths. We all know that man was responsible for killing Bambi's mom, but originally, Judge Doom from Who Framed Roger Rabbit was going to be revealed as the man who slaughtered Bambi's mom, but Disney decided to keep the killer anonymous. Jasmine from Aladdin established herself quickly as a woman who makes up her own mind and is a rebellious princess, but she is the only Disney princess to kiss a villain. Way to take one for the team, Jasmine. The Black Cauldron is a Disney movie that people often forget about. People also forget about the villain in this movie, the Horned King. The Horned King was not only scary looking, but was a very self-centered evil character, filled with a strong bloodlust. His bloodlust may be the reason why he has the highest body count out of all the Disney villains. His army comes from corpses, and to get numbers that he has, he most likely slaughtered entire villages. Judge Claude Frollo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame is considered to be the most evil villain of all. He enjoys the power and control over others through force and fear. A scene in the movie that showcases his love for cruelty quite well is when we first meet Captain Phoebus. Frollo is overseeing the torture of the former captain of the guard and instructs the torturer to wait in between lashes, otherwise the sting will dull him to the new. This line lets Phoebus know that Frollo is a man who has spent a long time studying and exploiting what will cause a human the most pain possible. The death of Mufasa from The Lion King scarred many of us as kids. We were so immersed in all the sadness and heartbreak Simba goes through in this scene, we don't think about this disturbing fact. What happens to Mufasa's body? One could assume vultures eat it, but what is more probable is that hyenas ate the body. They all hated Mufasa and were constantly starved by Scar, so this would be the golden opportunity for them to stick it to the Pride Lands. The evil queen from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was the very first Disney villain. Her jealousy fueled her hate for Snow White, so much so that she resorted to dark magic. When we see the queen in her secret dungeon, we see the skeleton of a single prisoner. Now, this prisoner could just be a random prisoner, but there is a possibility that this skeleton could be more special than that. This could be her very first prisoner, or perhaps even the king. The mystery of who the prisoner could be will never truly be answered. There have been some pretty gruesome villain deaths in Disney movies throughout the years, but this character death might be getting a little too close to the line. Clayton from Tarzan was an obsessive, ruthless hunter who had very little disregard for both human and gorilla lives. His final battle with Tarzan showed how desperate of a man he really was. His death was, in a way, poetic, but at the same time, very graphic. I'm actually surprised Disney gave the green light to keep this scene in the movie because it's pretty disturbing. The Lady and the Tramp is a pretty fun movie for all dog lovers, except for a couple of particular scenes. This movie takes a darker turn during the dog pound scene. It's always sad seeing unwanted dogs locked up in cages with very little hope of ever being free again. The darkest part of this scene focuses on a dog named Nutsy. It's a very short scene, but it is incredibly sad. Nutsy basically has a death march while all the other dogs look on. Lady is a bit confused as to what is happening, but one of the dogs clears it up for her, and the way he describes it is rather ominous. None of the dogs explicitly say that Nutsy is going to be killed, but it is implied. A rather mature part of a kid's movie, if you ask me. The Aristocats is a movie filled with lots of excitement and adventure, but the premise of the movie is rather dark. The movie has a pretty strong focus on death, specifically the death of Adelaide. She is riding her well with all of her fortunes going to her cats. This prompts the character Edgar to get rid of all the cats, so the fortune will go to him once Adelaide dies. Talk about a clever catnapping caper. Tangled was an incredibly successful hit for Disney. One of the reasons for its success was the fans' love of the characters, specifically the fandom surrounding Mother Gothel. She cemented her character's legacy early on, being a cunning, manipulative, two-faced mother. We all know her main reason for kidnapping Rapunzel was to keep herself young. But one thing most people don't notice about Mother Gothel is her fashion choices. Tangled takes place in the late 1700s. but the dress Mother Gothel wears is from the Renaissance era, which takes place some 400 years earlier, showing how old Mother Gothel truly is. Beauty and the Beast is a timeless classic full of magic and love, but there is one rather dark and shocking moment in the movie. The Beast has completely given up all hope after Belle leaves him to save her father, and he willingly allows Gaston and his mob to attack the castle. The castle staff are not given any instruction from the Beast whether to run or to hide. They are on their own. Beast's complete disregard for the lives of everyone, including himself, seems selfish and illogical even if he is suffering from heartbreak. I hope you learned something interesting from this video. Remember to like and subscribe if you are a fan of content like this. See you next time.